everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we have a matchup of two of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. It is a rematch of Super Bowl 49, one that went right down to the last play. It's Tom Brady going up against Russell Wilson. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up is a rematch of that memorable Super Bowl 49 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They come out here in the eye. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made... up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. Here's New England defensively. Last year, the #1 overall defense as far as points given up goes. And they've got a lot.
Certainly do. And let's go back to the Super Bowl. Trey Flowers, who was their leading sack guy in 2006, he had 7 in the regular season. He was a monster in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. He's back there for them. How about Dante Hightower at linebacker? His first Pro Bowl in 2016. And then just moving on back to the secondary. Devin McCourty, the guy who quarterbacks him back as safety, he's been to the Pro Bowl as a corner and as a free safety.
Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action, to bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23. You know, Charles, for Graham, so much concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle.
And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches.
65 catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too. 2nd and 10 now. Wilson out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
First down, this is Rawls. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. That's complete right around the 8. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. 4th down. Here's Wilson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
And tough starting field position here. They slot Gronkowski outright. So after the INT, it's Brady. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And that one results in 35 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
He was looking to find some space for Dion Lewis there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. As the offensive starters pop up on your screen, Charles, let me ask you, Chris Hogan, what does he bring to this offense?
A guy that you look at and really don't circle in your game plan. If there's other guys that you look at, then you realize this guy can do damage. Finds his way open on almost every snap.
And he's got Edelman on the out route. That's complete. Last year for Edelman, just below 100 receptions, 98, over 1,100 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, you know, this is a guy that gets a lot of pub for being that perfect receiver for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. What's his role going forward?
I think his role going forward is to be a bona fide #1 receiver in the NFL, meaning he's not just a Tom Brady receiver. He's that guy for anyone. And he spent so much time proving himself as he got into the league, just what you were talking about. Can I have a role here with New England? Now it's not just proving himself. It's continuing to develop in his craft. And I think he's going to just keep getting better and better. He never gave up on himself in his dreams, and he doesn't give up on any single play.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
And LeGarrette Blount just does not go down easy. You know, from my experience as a defensive back, this was a difficult guy to try and tackle because of the force that he runs with, and he's not going to be daunted no matter it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter, Brandon.
Well, what shocks me about last year, 18 touchdowns. I mean, the yards were pretty good, 1161. But when I think of New England, I don't think of a running back getting 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, that to me, it was the combo that made the 2016 season for him. Most yards in his career, most touchdowns in his career by...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, three that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all three could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh.
I think if the young quarterback going and that defense continues to live up to expectations, they can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. On third down, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there.
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a first down.
He's going to loft one. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 37 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense. With 2 guys going up for the football, which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Hauschka is sitting. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Okay, partners, New England comes out here to take the field on offense. Yeah, this is such an interesting story, how they've been able to do it year after year after year. Guys talk about parity in the NFL. Well, New England has kind of transcended that parity, and they've done it with guys that you don't normally think of as household names.
The parts keep changing for New England. That's the amazing part. On offense, all right? Offensive linemen change, receivers change, running backs change. We know the one constant is Tom Brady, and that's a huge deal for them. But to be able to do it in what you call the parity times, and you're exactly right, everyone's supposed to be pretty equal. New England still a top 10 offense year in and year out. In 2016, they were number 4, and that helped them with a number 1 ranked defense as well.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They slot Gronkowski outright. On second down, here's Brady. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Now Brady is going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be second down.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
Brady gives now to Blunt. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. Brady going to go on 4th down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They slot Gronkowski outright. Into the red zone, it's Brady. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And this is caught. It's Edelman. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Again, they'll throw with Brady. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Brady to throw again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl quarterback, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Now Wilson. He sets to... And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions. And, boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Brady to throw on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Before that last pass, 2 interceptions had already been thrown. And this last one tipped in the air, which means everyone on defense is almost fighting each other in order to get to the football to try and make it a third. Once you've thrown a couple, it's almost like a swarm of bees going after the ball. And in this case, they weren't able to get there before it fell to the ground.
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. They slot Gronkowski outright. Throwing is Brady on third down. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They do go for it. It's Brady surveying the field. Going deep here for Edelman. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They set up the screen to Rawls. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Throwing on first down is Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
We got three, fellas. We got three. Where's 52?
Second half starts with a run by Rawls. And an athletic hurdle, but taken down pretty quickly after that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Now it's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Curse. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Three down. 52's the fight, boys. 52. Man, I got you.
Now Wilson on first down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And taking it to the 15-yard line before it's brought down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Wilson, a give to Rawls. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On the ground, Rawls. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams in Arizona, those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all these places. But Mexico, for the second straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. Brady going to throw. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second? No, you know I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they had been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
To throw is Brady. Going underneath for Lewis. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now it's 2nd and 7. They slot Gronkowski outright. Again, it's Brady. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Blunt, the lone running back. And they'll give it to him here. And he's got room. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Brady going to try and throw on third down. And that's complete to Lewis. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. Time running out here on the play clock. They slot Gronkowski outright. So a penalty that can frustrate a coach so much, a mental error, and it'll back him up 5 yards. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Shotgun now for Brady. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. LeGarrette Blount from 17 yards out. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Brady will look to throw for it. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Second down following the run. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Now Wilson. Over the middle here to Wilson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Offense faces a third and medium with 6 yards left. On third down, Wilson. The grab made by Kearse over the middle. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. They run with a power back. Rawls. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get... Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go with Rawls. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37.
And this is where an offensive lineman really earns a living. You're on your own side of the field, but you only need a few inches, and you saw the good blocking at the point of attack. That is a well-earned first down.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
We're still in search of the first down after that last completion. He's back to throw. This is caught. It's Julian Edelman. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cliff Averill in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball? Meaning a 50-50. The ball's in the air, defenders there, receivers there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, The defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
They slot Gronkowski outright. Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. James White, the man he was looking for out of the backfield. And it's 4th down.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Now Brady got to have this one. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Seahawks are going to win this football game. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
They come up in an offset eye. Wilson wants to throw it. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.